Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight on my laptop that is failing, so I can only do one take, for better or worse, I am going to continue reading Animorphs number 2, The Visitor by K.A. Applegate. Woo! I headed at an easy trot down the sidewalk toward the Chapman house. As soon as I started moving, I thought, oh man, if I could just keep some of this for my next gymnastics class. It was like grace beyond any grace you can imagine as a human. I passed a wooden fence. There was a railing up high, maybe 3 feet up. I looked up at it, and then, before I could even think about it, I leaped. My powerful hind legs coiled and released. I sailed through the air. 3 feet straight up, and I was an animal that stood only about 12 or 13 inches tall. It was the same as a human being just leaping to the top of a 2-story building. And it was totally nothing. It was just automatic. I wanted to jump, so I did. I wanted to stick the landing on a narrow 2-inch wide rail, and of course, no problem. Compared to a cat, the best gymnast who ever lived is like a big, staggering cow or something. Rachel, what exactly are you doing? Jake asked. They were all standing there looking at me. I had totally forgotten they were still around. Just practicing, I said. I jumped back down to the grass. Okay? Get the job done first, I ordered myself sternly. You can worry about the Kitty Olympics later. I started again toward the house. This time, something forced me to stop. It was a telephone pole. The smell that emanated from it was overpowering. I went over to it. I sniffed it again, and again in short snorts of air. The air was trapped in a series of chambers above my palate. It would be held there even while I went on breathing. That way I could get every possible bit of information from that smell. It was definitely a tom scent. A tomcat had marked this pole by peeing on it. He was a dominant cat. Very dominant. His smell made me nervous, not afraid, just a little less arrogant than I had been. If this cat appeared, I would have to submit. I would have to make myself smaller and less threatening and accept his dominance. Or I could fight him and get my butt kicked. It was just the way things were. It was all there in the smell of his urine, where any cat could read it. I resumed trying toward the Chapman house. Rachel, are you sure you're in control? Tobias's voice was in my head. Why did you stop to sniff that pole? I figured I should look like a real cat, I said. I was just playing the part. If you say so, he said doubtfully. Just remember, it's fun being an animal for a while. not so fun when it's permanent. The 2-hour clock is ticking. Tick tock. That got my attention. It was like a dash of cold water in my face. I focused my human mind and took greater control over the cat's mind. But it wasn't easy. The cat's mind did not even understand the notion of obeying. So I used something the cat would respond to. I conjured up the memory of the Big Tom smell. That triggered the cat's submissiveness. I felt my part of the collective mind grow larger. You're almost there, Tobias said. This is the right yard. Yes, I know. My scent is everywhere. This whole area smells of me. This is home. This is all mine. Rachel, this is all Chapman's. And Chapman belongs to Fisher 3. Don't forget that. I trotted to the cat door. Chapman. Fisher 3. Big deal. I was a combination of Rachel and Fluffer. What did I care about Chapman and Fisher 3? The light inside the house was bright. My eyes adjusted instantly. My nose picked up the smell of cat food. Too dry and old to interest me. I also smelled the humans, Melissa, Mr. Chapman, and Miss Chapman. Don't ask me how I knew that what I smelled were those 3 people. I just knew. I spotted a cockroach in the dust balls in the dark beneath the refrigerator. No interest to me. Roaches make interesting and screechy noises sometimes, and they were fun to watch run. But they smelled wrong. They were not prey. Swift movements. Feet. Human feet. I didn't bother looking up. It was Miss Chapman. High-pitched sounds coming from the motor of the refrigerator. They were annoying. There were also the sounds of birds outside. They had a nest up under the eaves. Then the sound of Melissa's voice. Where was she? I didn't see her anywhere. The sound was muffled. I tried to focus. My ears moved to point toward the sound. It came from above me. Above and far away. She was in her bedroom. That's where. I couldn't hear the words clearly, but I knew that she was muttering to herself. I tried toward the kitchen floor. I knew, as Rachel, I knew I should be afraid. But I couldn't be afraid. Everything here smelled like me. My scent glands had left their marks all over, on that door, on that cupboard, on that chair. It reassured me. The big dominant tomcat smell was not in here. No, there were no other cats in here at all. Only human smells. And those were not important. I left the kitchen and passed at the corner between the hallway and the family room. Chapman was there, in the living room. I could smell him. He was just sitting on the couch. I glanced at him, then walked on. But then I stopped. My human brain sensed something wrong with the picture. Chapman was just sitting on the couch. No TV, no music. He wasn't reading a book or newspaper, just sitting. I turned back to the kitchen. I looked up at Miss Chapman. She was doing something at the sink. Maybe washing dishes. No, she was cutting vegetables. But again, no TV, no music. She wasn't humming to herself. She wasn't talking to herself the way my mom does when she's working in the kitchen. Not right. Something was not right with either of the Chapmans. I went back to the hallway. There were stairs leading up to the bedrooms. From the hallway, I could hear Melissa more clearly. I concentrated, trying to ignore the fascinating sounds of the birds under the eaves. I focused on the human sounds of Melissa's voice. Divided by the square root, no, wait, no, the square root times, is that right? She was doing her homework, her math homework, obviously, like I should be doing, I thought. I had a pang of guilt. Instead of doing my homework, I was creeping around my friend's house, spying on her and your parents. I tried to find a clock. I had to watch the time. At 9:45, my 2 hours would be up. I wanted to be Animorph and back in my normal body long before then. Hopefully, I could still get home and do my math homework and at least do some of the reading for social studies class. I spotted a clock. It was over the mantel, between pictures of the Chapmans and Melissa. The clock said 3 minutes until 8. Oh, I had plenty of time. Sudden movement. Oh, just Chapman standing up. The cat part of me wasn't interested in Chapman one way or the other, but I forced myself to pay attention. It was important to watch him. That was why I was here. Is he prey? The cat brain seemed to be asking. Yes. Yes, I told the cat brain. Chapman is our prey. I followed Chapman as he headed down the hallway. Either he didn't notice me or else he didn't care. He opened a door that let loose a flood of smells. Dampness, mildew, bugs. Rachel, how are you doing in there? I jerked in surprise. A very uncat-like movement. It was Tobias. He had to be fairly close for me to be able to hear his thought speech. He must be on the roof or perched on a nearby tree branch. I strained my sensitive cat hearing. The birds under the eaves were silent. They were afraid of the big hawk. I'm fine, I said, but you scared me half to death. Sorry, I was just worried. Well, don't worry. I'm following Chapman down the basement. Why? Because that's where he's going. Duh. I said. Somehow, Tobias's human words were annoying me. He wanted me to pay attention to him, and it was hard to do. The cat didn't care about his words. The cat just wanted to go down and look around the basement. Fortunately, that's what I wanted to do, too. I trotted down the rough wooden stairs after Chapman. Very weird, by the way. Going downstairs as a cat gave me a feeling of vertigo. I mean, I was going down head first. It's strange. Look, Tobias, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm kind of busy right now. I understand. I can't hear you very well anyway. You're getting farther away. Yeah, I'm going down. I waited. He said nothing. Tobias? I called, but there was no answer. We're still learning about thought speech. We know there are limits on how far it can be heard, but we aren't sure what the limits are. The basement had paneling all around. The ceiling was bare wood and full of spiders and other interesting things. No mice, though. Nothing that could be considered actual prey. But many things that might be fun to chase. Chapman is the prey, I reminded myself. We are hunting Chapman. There was a sort of TV room with a pool table and some odd chairs and a couch, but it was obvious that no one had used them for a long time. There were no human scents on them. There was dust everywhere, and I could hear that there were spiders inside the TV set. The only part of the basement that appeared to have been used was a path right across the floor. I smelled the scents that Chapman had tracked there with his shoes. He walked in a straight line across the basement to the door. It was a simple white painted door. Chapman pulled a set of keys out of his pocket. He unlocked the white door. He opened it and stepped through. 5 feet beyond the white door was a second door. This one was made of gleaming steel. It looked like the door to a bank vault. Beside the steel door, there was a small, square, white panel of light. Chapman pressed his hand against it. The steel door opened. It slid into the wall like the doors on Star Trek. I knew I had to go after him, but my human mind was afraid, and my cat mind didn't see any reason why I should walk into that dark place. To both of us, it felt like a trap, like a place we couldn't get out of. But I had to go in there. That was the whole point of this spying trip. And Chapman was my prey. At the last second, just as the door swooshed shut, I bounded into the room. It was dark at first. Not that it bothered me. Then Chapman turned on a low light. It was strange because I could actually see better in the dark than I could with the low light. There was a sort of desk set into the wall. It was gray steel and very unusual looking. There were more little light panels in various cheerful colors. And there was something that looked like a small but complicated spotlight hanging down from the ceiling. In front of the desk was a chair, a totally normal office-type chair. Chapman sat in it. He ran his hands over a blue panel. Then he looked at his watch. He sat patiently, waiting. For about a minute, nothing happened. I tried to look nonchalant, like I had just happened to wander in, but at the same time I was careful to stay behind Chapman so he wouldn't see me. I remember Jake's warning about how anyone would just assume I was a plain old cat. But Chapman knew about morphine. The Yeerks knew about the Andalite morphine technology. So if Chapman or any controller ever saw an animal acting the wrong way, they could suspect the truth. Suddenly a brilliant light snapped on. My cat eyes adjusted instantly, but even so, the light was painfully bright. It came from the little spotlight thing. Chapman turned around in his chair to face the light. The light began to change. It took shape. It turned different colors. The four hooves appeared. The bluish fur, the many-fingered hands, the flat, intelligent face with no mouth and only slits for a nose, the penetrating almond-shaped main eyes, then the strange extra eyes, mounted on stalks that turned this way and that, looking around the room. Last came the tail, the wicked, curved, scorpion-like tail. An Andalite, just like the Andalite prince who had given us her powers. But I knew this was no true Andalite. Dread washed over me. Dread too strong for even my cat brain to ignore. This was no true Andalite. This was the only Andalite body ever seized and taken over by the Yeerks. The only Andalite controller in all the galaxy. This was Vischer III, leader of the Yeerk invasion force. The evil creature who could morph into monsters acquired from all over the universe. This was Vischer III, the creature who had murdered the Andalite prince while we cowered in terror. This was Vischer III, who had nearly killed us all in the hell of the Yeerk pool. Welcome, Vischer, Chapman said in a very humble voice. Innis 226 of the Slurp Nayar pool submits to you. May the Kandrona shine and strengthen you. And you, Innis 226, Vischer III said. I was shocked to hear the Vischer's voice. In his Andalite body, he had no mouth. Andalites communicate telepathically, just the way I do when I'm in a morph. The second shock came from what they had said to each other. Innis 226. That had to be the name of the Yeerk slug who controlled Chapman. The cat part of my brain was busy with a different question. Was this operation real? No. There was no scent at all. Only light and shadows. It was a hologram. I knew. But it was a very convincing hologram. Vischer III seemed almost solid. He looked around as though he could see from his holographic eyes. I prayed he wouldn't look at me. Report, Innis. Yes, Vischer. Part of me just wanted to run. Even a hologram of Vischer III makes your skin crawl. But now that he had figured out it wasn't real, the cat part of me was just bored. I realized why I could hear Vischer III. The hologram projector must not be able to transmit thought speech. It translated into regular speech. Is there progress on locating the Andalite bandits? No, Vischer. Nothing yet. I knew who he meant by Andalite bandits. That was us. The Animorphs. I want them found. I want them found now. Chapman jumped back in surprise at the vicious command. I could smell fear on him. In a calmer tone, Visher 3 went on. This cannot go on, NS-226. It cannot go on. The Council of 13 will hear of it. They will wonder why I report to them that all Andalite ships near this planet have been destroyed and all the Andalites killed. They will be suspicious. They will be angry. And when the Council of 13 is angry with me, I am angry with you. Chapman was literally quivering. I smelled human sweat. I smelled something else. Something not totally human. It was very faint. Was that the Yerk itself? Was I smelling the Yerk slug in Chapman's head? It seemed impossible, but there was some strange smell. Something. I concentrated all my cat mind on analyzing the smell. What is that? Chapman swiveled in his chair. I looked up and froze. Chapman was staring right at me. And worse, oh God, much worse. Visher 3's stalk eyes were focused on me, too. It's called a cat, Chapman said nervously. An Earth species used as a pet. The humans keep them close and find comfort in them. Why is it in here? It belongs to the girl, the host's daughter. I see, Visher 3 said. Well, kill it. Kill it immediately. Holy shit, that was a long ass reading. God. I should have drank water before. I just finished talking with my fiance for the night, and then I might have sipped some water. I should have drank it more because, yeah, my voice, I felt like all the dryness was overtaking my mouth. Holy shit. But yeah, we all learn from our mistakes. I must say, whenever Visher 3 appears, I am just totally excited when I do this reading. Just because it's so fun to be someone so confident. I know he's evil, but, you know, at least he knows what he wants. Now that's, and me, I'm like all in confusion all day, trying to get stuff done. And so being able to be someone so fucking confident, I try to put as much arrogance in and have fun with it. Because, oh my God, that was fun. So confident. So, yeah, I think I might burp. Okay, that was a small one. Anyways, I would like to hear your opinions on the chapter. What do you think about, I especially would like to know your opinion on how Fluffer and Rachel's minds both are really similar. And remember, when you comment below, to, well, not give any major spoilers. Mine are okay, major not okay. Because, you know, I sort of hope that maybe someone who didn't really hear of Animorphs before is like, this sounds interesting, I want to read more. And so I don't want to spoil it for those people. And if you're one of those aforementioned people, and you would like to buy the book, you know, read it, because besides making a few mistakes tonight, I give my own interpretation when I do these readings. So if you want to see the actual text, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, link to buy the book is in the description, and if you're watching this on my bloggity blog, you know, under the video is a little ad that you can click and you can buy the book, and it'll be awesome, because the Animorphs. And if you're watching this on the YouTubes, please like, please subscribe, please. I do this so I can get attention. I mean, because I just like doing this. I don't care if no one watches. Anyways, sorry, I'm trying to hurry up. It's like over 3 minutes long now, and my computer is probably going to fucking want to kill me. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So this comes to the part of the video where I drink a little bit of sake, make a little toast, and if you want to join in, grab your favorite liquor, alcohol, or just anything going around. And if you don't drink alcohol for whatever reason, you know, drink some water, stay hydrated, drink milk, strengthen the bones, you know, you can join in still. You can even get a shot glass and put milk in a shot glass and take it from there. So, yay, I just want to say, for this video, I just want to be thankful that my computer's still there, and let's hope I survive Thanksgiving, because it is going to be fucking stressful. And hopefully next year me and Rose will be living together and we can make an excuse not to go to Sarasota. Good. So, cheers. And for anyone else, hope you have a non-hectic Thanksgiving. So here's to that. My mom actually, not this ball, but the other one under my desk, Mom got me for my birthday, which is fucking awesome. So, until next video, goodbye.